Lizards are making love for the first time in 200 years, the biggest plastic treaty in history, and big news in renewables. All wins in climate in 2022. Now, if you're feeling like climate and environmental news feel like they're full of doom and gloom, I'm here to spark some hope. Here are 3 stories from 2022 that brought me much needed hope. Number 1, wildlife is making a comeback. Animal species from across the world are being saved from extinction, all thanks to reintroduction and conservation efforts. In July, a team of scientists exploring the Galapagos Islands found that a lost species of iguana began breeding again for the first time in nearly 200 years. In November, the New York Times reported that the jaguar is coming back from the brink of extinction in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. And according to a September report, wolves, bears, and bison populations have increased in Europe over the past 40 to 50 years. Now, don't get me wrong, there is still a biodiversity crisis, but seeing that more than 50 species made a spectacular recovery, that's a good sign of resilience. Restoring and protecting biodiversity is super important because it keeps ecosystems healthy, sometimes in unexpected ways. Like, you might be thinking, why do we have to reintroduce a predator like the wolf? Well, one reason, of many, is to help keep deer populations in check, which in turn keeps fleas, ticks, and other parasite populations, which are known to carry diseases that affect humans and other animals, under control. Basically, it's all connected, and having an overpopulation of one group is just as bad as having underpopulated groups. Number 2, the first ever plastic treaty. Earth has a plastic problem, we know that. But for the first time ever, we as a collective society are doing something about it. In March 2022, 175 countries agreed to negotiate a legally binding treaty to end plastic pollution. The framework is still being drafted, but regardless, this is a historic leap in the right direction. What's more is that this is supposed to be implemented by the end of 2024, so we could start seeing some action taken pretty quickly. Just a quick reminder, it's estimated that there are roughly 5.25 trillion plastic pieces in the ocean, weighing approximately the equivalent of 1,345 blue whales. But there are so many other places that are implementing local policy, like in California, which passed the Plastic Pollution Prevention and Packaging Producer Responsibility Act in June. This new law will require in-state plastic manufacturers to reduce plastic packaging by 25%. As well as mandating that all single-use plastics sold and manufactured in-state must be recyclable or compostable. It's estimated this law could help eliminate approximately 23 million tons of single-use plastic by 2032. Number 3, renewables are lowering our emissions. I know a lot of people still don't believe in the power of renewables, but you really can't argue with data, and the data is showing that renewables work. As of October, renewables help save approximately 230 million metric tons of CO2 emissions this year. For context, that's like taking more than 49 million gas-powered cars off the road for an entire year. Obviously, there's still so much work to be done, and some countries still need to meet their renewable pledges. However, some of them are seeing results, like the US, where renewables produced more energy than coal for the first time ever this year. On the other hand, there is a recent report that points out how the 2022 energy crisis, influenced by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, has allowed for coal to make somewhat of a comeback this year. But overall, it's estimated that renewables will overtake coal by early 2025, according to the International Energy Agency. And let's not forget about nuclear fusion, which just had its first breakthrough in generating more energy than what it requires, previewing a potential future with more abundant sources of clean power. The UK is already working on the world's first nuclear fusion plant, which could be up and running by 2040. There's so many climate and environmental stories out there that this list could just go on and on. But I want to know, what was your favorite story and what do you want to see more of?